This video should help you with improving your module's accessibility score via Blackboard Ally. So I'm simply using this module as an example. If you go into Blackboard, open up your module, scroll down underneath Course Management, and then under Course Tools, there's something called Ally Accessibility Report. If you've never seen that before, click on it. It will automatically show you the current sort of state of health, if you like, of your module in terms of its digital accessibility. On this module, it's 59 at the moment. Now you'll see various stuff. It gives you a breakdown of the type of content on your course in the middle. That's just for information, really. Below at the bottom, you've got remaining issues, and as you can see, this module's got quite a lot to fix still. Not only has it got a list of the things that need to be fixed, it's got the number of content that it's affecting. So for example, it's got 99 images without a description at the top here, so that needs to be fixed, really. The idea, of course, is to get this score to as close to 100 as possible. It's not possible to get 100 on all modules, and we don't really recommend that you try and get 100, but we want at least 80, possibly 90%. We want to get that as high as we possibly can. Bearing in mind that obviously this does take a bit of time and a bit of work. So what I want to show you though in this video specifically is how to work with Ally to fix and improve old PowerPoint files which invariably show up as being fairly inaccessible. And there's a few reasons for that. Often they're old and they were produced using a template that had poor contrast. That seems to be very common. And there's things like not having descriptions of images. Anyway, let's look through. Let's do an example. So I'm going to go up to the top here and I'm going to click on Content with the easiest issues to fix. I'm going to click Start, and then you'll see there's a list of stuff here, and literally it goes over at least 15 pages here. And if you actually click on the score column, you'll see you can order it by the ones that's got the current highest accessibility score or the lowest accessibility score. And I'm going to go for this one that's the lowest, and it's this particular PowerPoint here. Let's attack this. So let's just take stock. We've got 59% overall for the module, and this specific PowerPoint presentation has only got a 6% accessibility score, so that's low. I'm going to click on it, and then what you see is this preview. It takes a while to load sometimes. Here we go. So it shows you, the PowerPoint file itself. You can see it over a number of slides, and then you can kind of scroll up and down here. As you can see, this is quite a long presentation, so there's lots to work on here. And the other thing to bear in mind, on the right, it's currently looking at basically the presentation has got images that are missing a description. That's one of the issues, but there's more than just one issue on this particular thing. And if you click on all issues, it will give you a list. So actually there's 2 issues on this presentation that are a problem. It also tells you, if you manage to fix these, how much you can increase the accessibility score of this particular document. So for example, this first one about the text with the insufficient contrast, if we fix that, we can increase that score by a whopping 66%. That's brilliant. And then the ones below where images don't have a description, well, that'll still be useful, and we should still correct that. But that will only give us an increase of 8% as opposed to 66%. So you can see that the top one really is a priority, but we'll try and fix both. Now, the way you do this is, first of all, you need to make sure you've got Office 365 installed on your computer, because that makes things much easier. It has its own built-in accessibility checker in there, okay, and that will make life easier. So the first thing to do if we want to fix this particular presentation is click on the download icon in the top right corner here, and it'll download the actual PowerPoint. The great thing about this is you don't have to go and start fishing about in your module to try and find where this PowerPoint exists. It just pulls it down for you from wherever it is. You don't need to worry about that. So I'm just going to open this up basically, and as I say, I've got Office 365, so this is PowerPoint 365. I'm going to click Enable Editing, and the thing that the real benefit here is if you go to, I think, the Review tab up here, you've got this thing called Check Accessibility, and if you just click on that and then click on Check Accessibility, it brings up a panel on the right. Now it's telling me automatically this is in an old format with limited functionality. Consider converting this file. So I'm going to convert this, and then we'll take advantage of the accessibility checking tools. So I'm going to just convert it and save it on my desktop somewhere. So your presentation contains one or more of the following. Some things here they cannot be saved in the selected file format and have been discarded. So one of them is hyperlinks on diagrams. That's probably not a deal breaker, but just something to bear in mind there. Okay, so we've now got it saved in a more recent format. And on the right, in that accessibility sort of window, you can see there's various stuff already. Let's go to the first one, missing alternative text. Line 4, slide 21. If you click on one of these, it'll take you to where it's actually found it. So on this particular case, it's like a double arrowed line there. And that is purely decorative. Adding some alt text to that won't really help somebody who's using a screen reader to understand this particular page. So all I'm going to do for that is drop this down, and I'm going to say mark as decorative. It will then remove that from the accessibility list. It's fixed. It doesn't need to worry about that anymore. Let's move on to the next one, rectangle 5. Okay, so again, we've got, I don't quite know what this is, to be honest. Click on it again. Can I delete? I think that's some weird bit of formatting. I'm going to just delete it. I don't think we need that. Rectangle 4. I don't think we need that either. Now we've got object 3 next, which is this. Now, I'm going to put some descriptive text on this. It's obviously better if the tutors themselves do this. I'm just using this really as an example. I'm just showing you how it works, because they're probably better at actually giving this a meaningful description. But you have to always bear in mind, if someone's using a screen reader, perhaps they're blind, for example, and they use a screen reader to tell them what's on the screen. Think about it from their perspective. What would be the most meaningful description of this image? So I'm going to click on here and go add a description, and in here I'm going to put, and this might be wrong, but this is just like I say, demonstrating how this works. An example of a Markov model, and then I'm going to close it, and that should then disappear. I've got another one here. I'm going to do a similar thing. It's the same kind of idea. An example of a Markov model, and then I'm going to close that down. And you'll see they start to disappear slowly as you do this. I'm going to do the same thing again here. So there we go. Close that down. You can see the list is already starting to decrease. Now then, what's this? Here's a table, but it's been inserted as an image, and that's generally not a good idea. It's very difficult for a screen reader to, well, impossible for it to actually get in and read out these cells of data to somebody. So this is actually a no-no. I would normally say, in this case, reconstruct this slide, perhaps using a table to lay out the data, not as an image. Picture 2, slide 45. Again, this could be seen as decorative. It could just be, it depends how much the users need to interrogate this. Is it just showing a trend? I'm going to put decorative for this. It will disappear. There's actually a problem with the contrast on this as well, and I'm going to try and address that. So I'm going to go to the design, and I'm going to change it to basically a white background with black text, which is better than a blue background. And I'm going to, I haven't finished this obviously, so if I go back to the review tab and click on check accessibility, there's still some things here. Hard to read text contrast. Let's have a look. Where's it saying this? Okay, you can see there we've got a white background with a grey font. Now that might have shown up better for some people when we had a blue background, but generally it's a no-no to have a blue background, because you never really know what colour text you might have on other slides. So I'll be tempted in this case just to select all of the text and then just try and change the font colour in one go, like that. And you'll notice that the contrast issue has disappeared from our menu. Now, as I say, I've not finished this, and we've got the tick box here to say keep accessibility checking running while I work. So basically, every time you make any changes, it will update this again, and it'll check that the things that you're doing are actually fixing things. Anyway, I'm going to save this, and bearing in mind I've not finished, but I've just wanted to show you how that works over the original. I'm then going to close this down, and I'm going to go back to our Blackboard. And what's great about this is if I go back to all issues, you'll see there's an opportunity here to upload the file, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So again, just like when we downloaded it, we didn't have to go fishing about in the module to find where it was. It just downloads it for you, which is really handy. And in a similar way here, we can just upload and overwrite the file that we've been changing, rather than again having to go and fish around and try and find where it was. So this is making it much easier for you to make these changes and improve the accessibility of files. So I'm going to browse back to the desktop, click on the PowerPoint that we've just been doing, and it'll upload it. Look, you can see the progress there. Now it's 6%, bear that in mind. What's it going to be? I would hope this has gone up by a fair bit. Oh look, we've got it to 63 already, and we've by no means finished that, but we've made some real progress there. So there's still some problems. Some of the problems have actually been introduced because we've changed that blue background out. So we would need to go through and fix these too. I'm just going to close it for now, and I'll come back and finish this later. And I want to go back to the overview, and you'll notice this is also the overall score has also improved now since we made those changes. So I'm going to stop the recording here. I hope that's been useful for anyone who who's wondering about how to improve PowerPoint. The same is true of Word, by the way. So if you're using Word in Office 365, you've got that accessibility checker built into that too. It operates in a very similar way. So I hope this has been a useful video.